What?
Why am I on twice? That's not fair.
Yeah,
Twice.
you're actually on VR. That's the left and right eye.
Yeah, it's a stereoscopic. If anybody looks at it with the
Yeah.
3D glasses, green and red or whatever,
Yeah.
then they'll actually see I am in 3D. It's amazing. Great effect. Great effect.
Yeah, it really brings out
Hey,
all
Pam.
the depth.
T-shirt, merchandise. Woo!
There are T-shirts.
Yeah, there's also hoodies.
No.
Keen's
Quick
got one as
review.
well. I just wish I got a bigger
Yeah.
size. It's a bit. Anyway, there you go.
It's
Yeah.
not in the
Fine.
doodly doo.
37 more fitness days.
Is that? Oh, it's getting hard. It's getting easier, but I'm
Yeah.
also taking on more challenges, and it's getting harder. So
Yeah.
VR fitness is working. I'm on holiday though, so it's fine. I'm taking a break from streaming. This is my last stream for over a week. Actually, it'll be interesting. I'll do some talking because I can see a producer.
You can hear me now. I wasn't muted. No one could hear me. I realised. No one said it because no one cares. But yeah,
No,
I did realise.
I was just watching. I was thinking he's not said anything yet. I'm just wondering if he's fixing stuff. But apparently, it's just a microphone. Listen to the new microphones that
guys.
people have.
Hello.
Come on, your microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should get one.
you should.
Can
Why
you
not?
hear
Tis
me
the
now?
season. I got mine on Amazon Prime Day because Amazon Prime Day, and if I hadn't bought it, they'd have thrown it out in a skip.
It's true. It's true. They should have a shop. We used to have a warehouse. It was just off the bypass down the M9 toward the anyway, outside the city, and it prided itself on taking junk from companies that couldn't sell it. It was like kind of TK Maxx, but not clothes. It was like crockery and electrical items, and it had all of the things that were required to basically fill up a house. And it was an absolute tap bazaar. It was so amazing. Some of the stuff you'd go in and just look, and it was all companies that had gone bankrupt, or they were selling off excess stock and just trying to clear out their warehouses or whatever. And it went out of business, which was it's a real shame. But it was some amazing bargains. But because it was close to my work, I was able to nip there at lunchtime and keep a close eye on it. And not, kind of much like your jumbo sale, you've got to be first in, otherwise all the good bargains get taken up quickly. So yeah, it was one of the guys from Dragon's Den that set it up. So it was quite amusing when it went bankrupt or out of business or whatever. Yeah, there's my story of retail delight. Amazon got a lot to answer for in my area as well, because obviously they've got a huge warehouse up here, one of the biggest in the UK, I think.
Yeah.
I wonder if we've got anybody else that's willing to work for them.
We've got one
Probably
close
not now.
here. My neighbor works for them. He's happy. He likes it.
Yeah. Does he?
He's got
feed the
10
warehouse?
kids he's feeding, so he's very happy.
Wow.
Does he- Yeah, 10 kids.
He just married one off, so now he's down to 9.
She said a kid.
Oh, that's all right.
right.
Hi everyone. Sorry about that. How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. It is Saturday.
No,
Is it?
Friday.
No, is it? Don't do that. As you can see, we've not got Ange and Mark here with us tonight, so it should go quicker.
And we'll get stuff done.
Yeah, we might actually get stuff done.
Oh,
We won't have any
Whoa,
drama.
you know.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean, it's like that Tanner guy. He just talks too much.
They're not
Yeah.
even here to defend themselves.
I know, it's fun. It's great.
I mean,
Ange's
there
in
is
the
chat. Well, Ange is in chat.
I'm just not asleep yet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, based on my clerical assessment of your NPC character, you are only worth 259 gold pieces to revive. Unfortunately, you need to hit the 300 gold tier to be worth bringing back from the dead.
And don't worry, Cry. I know you're thinking it already. No, the dancing cries are not going to be there all night. I put them there temporary, knowing that Ange and Matt were going to be here, and I have no backup, so I'm going to do that as soon as possible. I was going to do it beforehand, but I've been having technical issues, as you know. So I've not had time to do what I was supposed to do on my checklist of what I forgot to even write down. So, yeah, guys, apologies for any sound issues. If there are any sound issues or anything today, do let me know. I'm trying out a whole new software and everything. Could be crap, could be better. We will see. So do let us know either way. Yeah, coming. I'm going to press the calendar button, guys. Are you ready for this? And I don't know which calendar it's actually going to present.
Okay.
June.
So it could be this
It'll be a
month's calendar. It could be
surprise.
last month's calendar. It could be. It might even not even do anything.
I mean,
so...
we're on the last stream of this month, and you don't have next month's calendar. So
I would love it if it just. I would love it if it just brings up your Google Calendar. Just.
It's June's calendar. It's June's calendar. Oh, it's the one that's still wrong. Right. So what have we got?
You know,
It's Dungeons
you know the
and
thing
Dragons
about
today.
you know the thing about calendars, Infinity.
Go on.
There can be only one.
Ugh.
I'm just getting my points. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So all that's on that calendar is nothing. Basically, Tuesday we've got our club, and that's it. I will. Ange, if you're watching, we need the new calendar. We haven't got the July calendar yet.
sure, we have Google Calendar. It's
no.
provisional, but it's something.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I know these things. Coming up on IMT next week is possibly Strain's game. Yes? No?
It's not what the calendar says.
What does the calendar say?
John Hicks next week.
John Hicks next week. Let me
This
let
was
me
my
open
question.
up the calendar. Let me open up that calendar. Apparently the calendar
The,
is good.
the issue is that we've got a lot of people who are on holiday, and our regular programming over the summer has been slightly up in the air due to the fact that so many of us are away or other things are happening. So we are provisionally putting in calendars, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Right. We got the calendar. So next Friday we have possibly got John Hicks doing another game. I'm not sure which game it is yet. I think there's talk that he's going to do. It's either going to be Those Dark Places or he may be running something different. Don't quote me on that. That's the conversation I
I mean, you
remember
covered
last
the
time.
options there.
Yeah.
Those dark places
Yeah.
are not those dark places.
Yeah, but it may not be John Hicks. Who knows? But it says it might be. So somebody will be running something on Friday. On Saturday,
Yeah.
it's back to Mutants and Masterminds. And just so you all know, it's for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be a double whammy, Mutants and Masterminds, due to me having a holiday. How dare I? And Croy, thankfully, moving things around to accommodate it. So it's going to be 2 Saturdays of Mutants and Masterminds, but it's a special episode because this is going to be the first Origins episode for Mutants and Masterminds. You heard it here first, guys.
Nice.
I'm
Surely
not going
heard
to tell
in
you
Discord
which
first.
character it is. Only the cast and crew know this. But if you would like to get involved, I do need people. You don't need any
Oh, I'm
proper
being told
knowledge
in
of
Twitch chat that this is wrong,
what?
which is suboptimal.
What? Who's
a
telling me
bit-
what's wrong?
It's okay.
You
We're
just
fine.
said,
Keep-
no,
carry
that's
on.
wrong.
Carry on. Carry on. Carry on.
Something's wrong. Don't worry,
Carry on.
guys.
Carry on.
It's a special Origins episode for one of the characters. I do need some people to play. I'd like to try and get some new people in who would like to try doing a bit of role play with us. If you want to, you can. You're going to get a fresh character. It's very minimal. You're not going to be a superhero, I'm afraid. You are going to be a civvy. But there's some good RP elements to be done in it. And so if you've been a fan of the show and you're watching it along and you want to get involved just for 2 Saturdays, drop us a message on Discord and I'll get you sorted on that. Otherwise, you'll watch the usual cast mess around and everything. Yeah, so it is going to be an Origins episode, which I've been looking forward to doing.
That's cool.
Really much so. It'll be interesting. It'll give a bit of backstory to the whole universe and everything, which will be good. Then on Friday the 9th, in between that, we're going to Blades with Mark. It's coming to an end, Blaze, but I can't remember if that's the last one or if it's the next one that's the last one.
It depends how quickly we blow stuff.
It's
What's happening?
potentially the last one if we don't screw anything up.
Potentially the last one. I get that because Mark's been running me, Ange, and Meow Nerva a one-shot on Tuesdays, and we're now into the 6th week of it. Going on 7. So,
That's a one shot.
So yeah, there's got Blades on the 9th. Then it's Those Dark Places on the 16th, run by Mark, possibly. Then Josh is running something on the 17th.
Pirates.
Is it Pirate Campaign? Nah, I'm gonna miss
Yarr.
that. I'm missing all the best stuff. I missed
Why
the
do you keep sending
Hellblog one. I
messages
want to
saying,
know.
I want to play your games if you're going to miss them all?
Because you'll pick the games up when I'm going. Bastard. And then back to Blades.
Ange gives me.
Then it's back to Blades on the 23rd, D&D on the 24th, and then we're back into our usual routine, pending any more holidays, if anyone wants to book any holidays. And I know you're not interested, but I'm going to tell you anyway. At some point during this month, we are going to get the part 2 of Ange and Andy of that Steam game that we were playing, because I think we're long overdue to get it back. And we're trying to get it more consistent than once every other month, so...
There's so many things we're just so good at.
So much things to do. So yeah, we'll try and slip that in before the end of July, hopefully. I'll speak to Ange later and we'll get some dates sorted for that. And that's it, really, on the calendar. We have got Croy's obviously running his games on a Monday. Still looking for players, or are you full at the moment?
We have a new player potentially starting. I'm not sure exactly when, in a couple of weeks' time, but in one of the next games. So we're pretty much up to quota now. We are hopefully to be joined by McCramer, who is a fellow VR streamer, and he expressed an interest to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, hey, well, Infinite Monkey Tales. I mean, just and. Yeah, got him into Discord and introduced him. He's rolled a character. So it's just a matter now of making sure that our schedules can align. I had actually offered him a guest spot today, but he couldn't make it because he was elsewhere. Nice. But yeah, so it's going to be fun. Getting that campaign. We've kind of gone off piece. We were doing Ghost of Saltmarsh, and we've now kind of taken a bit of a side alley from that. See, it's not just. It's just the way, isn't it? It's just D&D. So we've gone we've gone to I'm getting really distracted by what I'm seeing on stream right now.
Just ignore it.
So yeah, we started off doing Ghost of Saltmarsh, and we've got through quite a bit of that. But there was a desire among the party to go to the city, so we're now in I forget the name, Leandra or something. I think the name of the city is in Greyhawk. So we're on a Greyhawk campaign setting, which is interesting because it's just that little bit different, and it's also the origin of D&D. Gygax created that huge castle, which then ever expanded out into becoming, and I think it's just grown arms and legs. I'm not totally up on D&D history, but I understand it's a bit of heritage with Greyhawk, so that's kind of cool, and obviously a bit of difference from the Sword Coast that we're in just now. Although I say we're in the Sword Coast just now in this campaign, because we're no longer in the Sword Coast, we're somewhere in the Shadowfell. So yeah. Oh, and there's music to be played. If anybody would like to, I'd just have to give a shout out, because the guys at Cryo Chamber, I approached them. They've got a huge amount of stuff for music, and you can get them on cryochamber.bandcamp.com. And they have graciously allowed us to use their music on tonight's game. So thank you very much to them. And there's also a link in the about on this channel as well. So yeah, cheers. That's going to be great. They've got so much stuff as well. And yeah, so that's me. I'm done yabbering. Hopefully everything is now sorted. I'm no longer looking at our Twitch channel because it was really disconcerting to see Angie's character doing the VR dance. To see Ariel kind of just boogieing on time. We do have gifts, by the way, thanks to Stonebrick Studios, who turned our last
we do.
That's a good point, actually. You could have used those.
I know. I have got them saved. I'm now trying to frantically work out where I saved them.
That's it. So I'm going to press play on the music myself because I didn't get time to put it into the actual game because it's huge files. Like it's like 3 hours of music or something.
So we can't hear him?
Well, no, but what I've sent is a link. If you want to click the link that's in Discord, then you can play along. It's fairly kind of background music. It's not timed or anything like that. So it'll just generally give you the ambiance of the place. I'll share that link. In fact, I can share it in chat as well. Yeah. So it's here we go. So there's a playlist. I'll post it into Twitch for anybody who wants to be. But yeah, check these guys out. This is a playlist with three songs based on the Cryo Chamber stuff. But if you are playing either Cthulhu game or if you're playing any sci-fi stuff, and you just kind of want dark, it's great. Check out the channel. Give them a follow. Go and buy their stuff on Bandcamp.
Yep.
Okay, are we going to play a game? Are you ready?
Yeah, sorry, I'm frantically trying to get everything else sorted. But yeah, tell you what, you start, do a nice little recap, and hopefully by that point, I will be back in touch with what's going on. Sorry, guys. Music's a bit loud. Okay, I'll turn it down. See?
Okay.
Okay, Cry, take us away. Take us back to the Mystery Land.
The recap. So last we played, you were invited to have parley with the evil wizard, who has been somewhat your bane of existence. In your possession as a party, you have a list of people who he has indoctrinated and otherwise swayed to fight for his cause. His cause, it turns out, is that he is expecting to be able to dethrone and destroy the Raven Queen. She has always been of madness since her creation. She rose to being a deity at the end of her life. It was through the worship that she had as a mortal that she was able to gain semi-godhood, but it was until her death that she actually rose, and where she took on the mantle of the Keeper of Souls, that every soul must pass through on its onward journey through to its final destination, of which we do not know. Caraptus is particularly aware that the Raven Queen is trying to undo what made her. She is trying to combine the planes back. She's maybe misguided in her attempts, but the resultant destruction in the material plane has been significant and is only getting worse. Caraptus informed you that she was not far away from completing her final task, and so it was that he implored you as clean and fresh souls to enter into the Shadowfell and act as something of a distraction, where you would only need to walk upon her domain, her inner sanctum, and that would be sufficient to give him the time that he needs to unpick her from the fabric of the weave. And so it is that you find yourself transported and sitting, staring down a vast, jagged valley, a plane of existence that only some of you might have seen before, and are aware that it's a dark shadow infestation of the material plane. You may have heard stories, Moon, about the city that's the equivalent of Neverwinter, that resides somewhere in the Shadowfell but is a twisted, horrible beacon. There are mountain ranges which are 10 times the size in the Shadowfell. Everything reeks of decay. Everything reeks of just an unpleasant, gloomy. It's one thing that might be of benefit to you, Moon, as you're standing here looking down this valley, this stone-walled valley. You note that all light is gloom. All of the light is gloom. You do not see anything above dim light anywhere as far as you can see. Even the light in the sky itself just seems to be emanating a dull, dim light. Darkness in the shadows looks even more common. The place, it smells of rotting wood. It smells of even smoke slightly, and occasionally, you perhaps fancy you hear whispers or a weeping echo somewhere in the distance through the mist. It's damp. It's cold. There's a heavy mist swirling on unfelt breezes. And you are standing for the first time as a party, as a group, looking down this valley.
Well, we're here
I've
now.
seen scarier places.
What's the plan?
I
Well,
guess
we
we're
find
gonna
out
have
where.
to.
Yeah, we got to find out where the Raven Queen is, so we can distract her at this key moment or whatever.
Is there a big, gloomy, daunting-looking castle-like thing in the distance?
Yes, you see this rising.
There's like 15 of them.
That down the valley. Well, actually, to be fair, this looks entirely as if it has been ruined for a very long time. There is only remnants of what might once have been a magical, fantastic place. Who knows? What is of note, of course, is the ravens that are swirling around it.
Well, I have a plan that might get us inside.
Or we're gonna sneak in as chefs again.
No, it's a distraction.
We're going to sneak in as a distraction?
Would it not be better to cause a distraction and then sneak in?
Exactly. And I
think
reach
she
in
wants
my
to use her
backpack.
language ability.
no, I reach in my backpack and I pull out this little bag and I pour some in my hand. I've got beans.
Oh, congratulations.
They're magic beans.
I've heard of this. You're going to build a you're going to grow a
greenhouse.
beanstalk. You're going to climb in through the roof. I see.
You're gonna green a bean house.
A wizard gave them to me.
Did you sell him a cow? I don't. Are you sure they're magical beans? I've never.
I think this dark, depressing dimension has taken a somewhat fantastical twist.
Moon, could I get a history check from you, please?
Yes, you can.
Did anyone
I'm
buy a
thinking
map
about
of
beans.
Shadowfell before we left?
Moon, you have heard stories about the Fortress of Memories. The thing that's standing before you does not look like something that would befit the stories of grand, sweeping, just island-spanning, continent-spanning walls. You strongly suspect that the stories have been grossly overestimated by people who have never actually seen it. But nevertheless, as a spinner of stories, you are aware that there has to be a seed of truth, and even this fallen wretch of tumble-down stone could not be the Fortress of Memories. At least that's what your impression is as you're looking at it.
Yeah, maybe this is the Fortress of Disappointing Memories.
It does seem...
The ones that didn't quite make it.
There is always a shred of truth in stories, but the framework of them, this does not resemble what that would be. The way the stories speak of the Fortress of Memories, they hide the imposing element of it. This is not that. And I pluck one of the beans out of Cookie's hand.
Don't eat it.
He's gonna eat it. It's a bean of truth. Is it a coffee bean?
Curious. It is a bean. Does it smell of anything? The bean?
I'm not going to imply that anything you've just said, like this recent addition to the conversation, has undermined any of your previous points.
I don't know what you mean.
So what are you doing? You're standing here, looking down this valley. There are just nothing but mist and the birds cawing
Well-
around.
Well, maybe if we go up, we could get a bit of lay of the land, or at least get someone's attention.
Okay. So
With any luck, the worst we have to worry about is birds.
you walk forward into this path that leads along the side of the valley. You feel just. You feel a sense of despair. This place is everything about it just looks cursed. Looks like it would drain your existence away just by contemplating it for too long. There's no green, there's no blue. Their colours are just grey and dark. The idea here of walking through this begins to claw at you. Adric, Cookie,
Yes.
you feel content and full. You have a reminder of what it's like to have eaten a good meal. Did either Moon or Kai eat in around the table?
Oh,
we
no, they
specifically
didn't
gave
want
Ashley the
to
cookie. I've got my own food.
Yeah.
It would very much, obviously I wasn't there, it would very much depend on what they were serving. If they'd served something natively Maztec, and Moon would have eaten it. But if they
Very
were
obviously
serving...
your favouriteest food ever.
Fish.
It was your favourite dish, so it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember the mention, but specifically
Yeah.
if it was
Yeah,
Maztec,
it would
then
have
Moon
been.
eaten it.
Yeah. So yeah, also you've got this feeling, Moon, in your stomach of you're just suddenly reminded of it, of feeling like a good meal. You've had a good meal. This is something that feels important to you, and it's enjoyable. The fact that you've at least got this. Yeah, you're not hungry. Kai, could I get you to make a wisdom saving throw, please, as you step forth into this world?
Hey, 21.
Yeah, you recognise it, but you shrug it off. This kind of feeling of loneliness that maybe you're the last.
Fancy happy food.
Yeah, you're the last gnome on the world. You know, it's just you just carry on. You've seen worse. You walk.
We've all been to Luskin.
Tanner just says something at that point, I suspect. Not quite sure what, but he might agree with you, or. So you continue onwards and through, and you arrive at the bridge that you see. Why not? This Sugarly Bridge is fine. You get across it okay. It looks like it's a bit fallen into disrepair, and you find yourself taking an extra step across the larger breaks. But there's no reason to suspect it's going to fall. And you arrive on top of the castle, and it is absolutely shattered. There's only one floor that you can stand on, and that's the one immediately on the surface of the rock. It's broken, but still this pervasive smell of rotten wood, wet stone, smoke, and still these whispers and a far off, this occasional sob that you hear on the air, or so you fancy.
Okay, we have to find somewhere to try and plant this. Anyone see dirt?
Do you need to be planted in dirt?
Yes, it's all rock.
Not the best thing to bring here. I'll just start looking around for some dirt.
As we are suspended above this
rocky valley.
Yeah. To be fair, if you add enough water, you can turn rock into sand or dirt or whatever. Just takes time, is all.
Anybody who's looking further afield down the valley as this discussion's happening, give me a perception roll, please.
I'm looking for dirt.
This is one of those ones where it's like, do you actually want to succeed?
We haven't had a long rest since the last episode, have we?
No.
Okay, yeah. That is at disadvantage then.
I see no dirt.
Okay, so Adric, you're having a look down the valley, and Kai and Moon are looking for dirt. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I find no dirt.
Yeah, Adric, as you're looking down the valley, you see it opens up at the end of the stone doesn't continue. The mountains drop down quite suddenly into what looks to be a plain of sorts. And as the mist clears and gathers and you get catches of this, it looks like there could be, I don't know, maybe a fence or something down at the bottom, just across the bottom of the valley, like almost like a wooden. You're not sure. It's terrible, but it looks like it isn't rock. It isn't rock forever. So yeah, you see that. Moon, you're looking around in the broken floor of this place. It's smashed up as if it's been either clawed or just weather has torn it apart. There are elements where probably the bird shite that's fallen out of the ravens has decayed over the years. There's crushed stone that's been weathered by the ice forming and melting and the wind hurling, and there's a small crevice with it's dirt.
I have an idea, but you'll all have to turn your back.
Okay.
It's not really appropriate time to get changed.
No, I'm not going to get changed. But
Right.
desperate times call for desperate measures.
Okay, I'm not sure where this is going, but
On the ground, probably.
That would be the implication.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you guys all turn around?
yeah.
Moon turns his back and flips his head up.
All right. And Cookie relieves herself into the crack
Excellent.
and then places one of the beans
Oh,
and
okay.
waters it.
Excellent. Okay, now, having found a suitable fertile ground upon which to plant a seed, can you describe what happens next, please?
Okay, I'm gonna say it starts to glow, but we have to roll something.
I think this is starting to take the piss now.
100.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my thingy.
You can't redeem your own pun bar.
I can and I did.
That's not okay.
49.
49. Okay. Let's just remind ourselves of what we're.
Seeds.
This.
I can copy and paste.
I've got it here. Yeah. It's a bag of beans, isn't it?
This would be the comically appropriate moment for Kai to remind Cookie that he can cast Mold Earth.
Okay. You've cast a bag of beans. You've put
I
the
only
bean
used
in.
one. I
You only
planted
used one.
one.
Sorry, use one. The bean. So as you're standing looking at it, waiting to what happens, suddenly, excuse me, something happens, and I'm gonna need you all to just give me a second while I prepare for what happens. I also need to build spell. There we go.
We'll take this time to discuss the fact that we all probably still have water skins.
So what happens next is mushrooms of sorts begin to grow from it. You see the sprouting of caps coming from this crevice, the crevice on the ground, that is, and it continues to rise. Could you roll a d6, please, Cookie? Okay.
How many is that, Craig?
Yeah. So you've got you've got these massive you've got these things that begin to grow, and they haven't stopped growing. These fungus are growing up to your knees now very quickly, and they're feeding. You can see them sprawling and spreading, and their tendrils crawl across the ground and gather into the other parts of the crevice, and they begin to form a mat underneath your feet as they're searching for anything to sustain it. And it's
growing back round now.
It's growing very quickly.
I don't think we should wait around here.
Yeah, I hope this won't be this won't be a problem for us to deal with. So, should we press on?
These beans seem unusual.
Yeah, and as you're turning around, you hear an audible scream as this fungi just grows up to almost as tall as each of you, and you just hear this awful scream erupting, and the birds that were roosting just they all disappear.
There's a distraction.
I'm booking it.
Yeah,
that would be the distraction point where everyone else is.
And then these things just grow up, and then they begin to feed off everything, and they quickly cover the castle floor, and the growth of this is like a wave coming towards you as you back off and back off. More of these things sprout up, and each one that's close to you lets out a massive audible range. And you can hear this from... Yeah, can I get you to roll a d4, please, Cookie?
I'm afraid to.
Yeah, and as you back off, it dies down quite quickly, the sound. But these things are loud. Do you climb back down off the castle? Off the ruin?
Well, we heard something in the castle, right?
You heard something
I
in
thought
the
we were trying
air.
to sneak into the castle.
Yeah, I would think we'd go further in.
Yeah, well, okay. So give me... You can get round where these things are. You notice that as soon as you walk near them, they let out this horrible, audible shriek, and it seems to be echoing off the mountainsides. So you're going to try hard not to get close to them. I assumed that you were already up on the top of the castle there, so let's just say you're all off the bridge and up in the ruins. Give me, if anybody who's looking around the ruins specifically, please give me either an investigation if you're actually going around touching things, or a perception roll if you're just looking.
That's fine. I'll stay down here on the bridge.
Oh.
What a lovely castle this is.
Yeah, Adric, this is terrible stone. You're just bemoaning the decline of this place. It might have been nice once.
Moon is completely distracted looking at these mushroom things.
Yeah. From a distance, I take it.
Is he just standing there streaking at the mushrooms? I will beat you. Trying to understand what language they're talking.
They're
I
just.
don't know how to speak that.
They are just screaming. Yeah. So these things, these mushrooms continue to screech and squeal as Moon torments them as he walks close to them and steps back again, and walks close to them and steps back to them. And you can hear it bouncing through all of the ruins. But this is just ruins. Cookie, you're having a good look around. Aside from the birds that you've unsettled and they have flown off down and around onto the crags around, you look down and again you catch this valley opening up, and the mist parts for just a second, and you get a clear view of what looks to be buildings, almost agricultural in their leaning. You just sort of see fences. You see fences around, yeah. So you've got you get that view, and you see a path that leads down, and the mist just closes over again, and you lose sight of it.
I saw what looks like farms down there.
It's not really what we're looking for, is it? But maybe they can give us directions. Your beans are loud.
Didn't know what they would do.
Why did you use them then? What? Why would you use something you don't know what it does?
For science.
But we were on a precarious bridge. You could have killed us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would have been life or death if we were on a precocious bridge.
Anyway, did you not ask when you bought the beans?
Oh, I didn't buy them. I was given them.
By a strange wizard.
No, as I had helped the town. I saved the town from a giant attack.
And they give you beans, and you just planted them.
By
unaware of what they did.
Largest barbecue ever seen in the world.
Right.
There were oxen and...
Well, now thanks to you, there's not much room around here.
What, it's a distraction?
Indeed, it was.
Yes, but it's more of a distraction. That could have gone badly, Cookie. That probably was not the wisest maneuver.
Anyway, we've seen something vaguely interesting. Should we discuss this while moving it on a bit?
What are we going to do about the flying mushrooms?
They're not flying. They're down here.
I mean, we've technically like brought an invasive species to this plane, so I think we should probably just, get out of here before people start asking questions.
Yeah, but that's the problem. We've got to get back across now.
Well, can we climb down?
I can climb down.
I mean, if we want.
I don't know about you, but last time Ariel tried to climb down something, she kamikazed herself all the way to the bottom.
She got down.
I mean, I could fly myself. I could fly myself and 2 other people down. We could carry the rest. Yeah, we could carry people down, or they could climb, and then we can catch them if they fall off.
Moon and I are very good climbers.
I'm an excellent climber. I used to train in the military, don't you know?
Oh yeah, you do that thing on your hands. I've seen it.
Yes.
Maybe I will try this. Going down this hill.
That's why you always wink at figures of authority. Alright.
So you take the other 2, fly them down.
Yeah. And then, because we got it'll last for an hour, so we could Actually, sorry, 10 minutes. 10 minutes we can use to like try and help people down if we need to. We'll have a fly speed of 60, so hopefully we can fly faster than you can fall.
So yeah, that's the plan. You're going to climb and fly, and it all sounds eminently sensible.
Yeah. I mean, if things go wrong, I can potentially like use fly to bait the anything else that's flying away from the tower, so the guys can just descend safely, and then rejoin at them where we're going. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean it's easy done, right? You know how to cast a spell, and once Tanner's done this before, Ariel maybe not so much, but I mean 10 minutes is enough time to get down into the valley
she could
floor.
figure out which way down is.
Moon, can I get a perception roll from you as you're climbing down, please?
Yes. Oh, before I climb down, how big are the mushroom beasties?
They've now grown to about 6.5 foot.
That's a bit too big. I'll ignore the mushroom beasties.
They stink of piss.
It's cat pee. At least the local wildlife will keep away.
Yeah, Moon, you're climbing. You begin to climb down. This is an enjoyable climb for you. The rocks are rough and ragged. There's enough spikes and prongs to hold on to. And it's as you're climbing down, you stop to admire the view, and you look around at the valley just behind you as you're climbing down on the right side of the mountain, and you see the path that leads down through the valley side, and it rolls down into the mist and the clouds. So there's obviously a way up. Ariel, Tanner, Kai, you're flying down. You get to the bottom relatively quickly. What's Adric doing?
Just swearing at everybody. You left me behind, you bastard.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing. He's running down the mountain.
You run down the mountain. Okay, and Cookie?
I can't remember what that spot's called. Where you run downhill.
She's rolling.
No, that's the
clinging with my claws and leaping from ledge to ledge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not particularly difficult for you. Could I get an athletics check, please, from Adric?
I'd rather not.
You're a barbarian. This is like your one thing.
Yeah, you're fine.
Advantage.
You're fine. You're fine.
Get angry at the rock.
It takes some time, but you all gather at the bottom of this valley, and you're avoided the shrieking. Occasionally, you hear it start up again as one of the birds flies past it. You look up and you see kind of a few ravens just swooping into the castle, and as they do, you just hear this screech. The noise travels quite far. But yeah, you're at the valley floor, and you're looking around, and sure enough, you see the stairs that come down off the mountain over to your right.
We could have used the stairs.
Why would you use stairs? Nobody ever starts a story by going down the stairs.
I mean, the stairs would have been very boring. That was a very nice exercise. We should do it again.
After you.
Do you think anyone's down there?
Hello? Is there anyone down there? No, I don't think so.
Give me a perception check, Moon. Anybody who's looking. Now you're a bit lower down, and
yeah,
I'm not shot.
Yeah. Why is Moon bleeding?
Moon,
Yes.
Kai, you see a fleeting a figure of energy rather than any sort of corporeal form. Just about 100 feet away from you. It comes out from behind a rock, floats across your vision and seems to be heading down the valley towards the fields.
Oh no,
It's
there you
not-
go. There's something.
It's not moving quickly.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
walk
maybe
up
we
to
should
it
keep
and-
an eye on it.
I just
yeah.
walk straight up to it and start looking at it
Yep.
as it floats down.
Yeah, it's definitely got a purpose. You can see its destination, or at least you can see its journey. You know, direction it's going in.
Is
It's
it
not
reacting
moving.
to him?
No, not at all. It's just moving.
This is unusual.
Maybe it's spirit of some sort. Just off on its own little mission.
I'll take a purple handkerchief out of my pocket and drop it on the thing.
You drop the handkerchief onto this floating, moving spirit thing.
Yes.
You find out.
It passes. It just passes right through it.
I think it's a
Find out
spirit.
purple drives it to a homicidal rage.
It can't hold a handkerchief. I pick up the handkerchief and put it back in my pocket.
Well, it's a test I've never really tried, but thanks for giving it a shot, I guess.
And you
It's
see
a very
it.
important handkerchief.
There's another rock on this path as it's going down towards the farm area that's in front, and it passes through the rock. It doesn't take the round trip around the rock that the path does. It just carries straight down
Yeah.
the valley.
Pity Ariel can't tell us anything about this. I feel like this might be something like a religious studies or something, maybe.
Aye, okay.
Clue us in
Leave
on.
it to continue its floating and return
Yeah.
to the party.
Yeah. We'll just keep following it, safe distance.
Yeah, it seems oblivious to you. And as you walk down, a little bit, another few minutes, it's still there, walking down, and it's joined by a second, which comes from a slightly different angle. It seems to have, again, just this out of a rock. It just floats in, and there's a distance between them, but they're definitely heading in the same direction.
Now that I've two.
Well, that seems to be the way to go.
Definitely a point of interest by the looks of things.
Yes. Could be a trap.
They're floating spirit things. I don't think they know how to set traps.
No, we're assuming they're spirit things.
Well, they can't carry a handkerchief.
It could be an illusion to trick us. I've seen this done before.
You can keep up with them very, very easily.
We should be cautious.
I'll walk up
Should
to
we
one of them
try and-
paw at it?
Maybe
Yeah.
Moon and I should run ahead
Yeah.
and see what its destination is.
And as you say that, Moon runs ahead and just kind of paws at it.
Oh God.
Moon,
Yes. Hello.
could I get a wisdom saving throw from you, please?
I'm not wise.
Evidently.
Rude.
That roll followed from that statement.
You sense with all of your being, all of your history, you sense that this thing has a story to tell. But you are so shocked to find that there that you withdraw it. You withdraw from it.
This is important. We told stories.
Okay, I think you had a good idea. See if you can scout ahead. Find out where they're heading.
I'm just gonna keep
Okay,
walking
I'm
down
going
behind
to
this
go stealthy,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
stealthy.
Right. Yeah.
Out in front of it in a straight line.
Okay.
Maybe off from the straight line of where it's going. You know what I mean? So I can see where it's headed, but I'm not walking that particular path. I'm
Yeah.
off just a little.
Okay. So yeah, you walk off the path as it winds, and you kind of cut down the side of it. At this point, the ground is starting to level out a little bit, and it's not as steep as you feel like you're coming down into the valley plain that you had seen in the mist. The mist is still there, and this place is still pretty awful. But you have at least managed to you've managed to properly to see where, and it just seems to be heading forward. You can't see far enough ahead to see where it's going, but it does look like it's going close to. It looks like it's going close to something, a shadow that you can see, a big shadow, as if maybe. Well, give me a perception roll to see if you can figure out what it is through the mist. But do it with disadvantage, please, because you're getting your vision obscured. Roll again and see what you get.
Okay. What am I rolling again? Perception?
Perception again, yeah. We'll take the lowest of the two that you roll. I'll take the one on the left.
Oh, well, I did
and
that
the top
one at disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, 18. Yeah, you still see it. There's a building up ahead in the mist, and they're not necessarily heading there, but they're, as best as you can tell, they're kind of heading past it.
Okay, I'm going to. If the building has windows, I'm going to sneak up to the windows and peer in.
Okay. And before you get that far, once you get to the outskirts of this place, the fence that you saw, the broken fence, you look in and you see somebody. This is a person. You see a person, moving in and behind the trees. So before you get to the house, you see movement beyond the trees.
Okay, I'm going to stop then.
Yeah.
And turn around and, as quietly and quickly as I can, go back to the group.
Okay.
Okay, what did you see?
There is someone down by a house. That's where these spirits are headed.
What sort of house is it?
More of like a small farmhouse.
Did you see anyone there?
Someone alive. That's a living person.
You sure?
Or it looks like a person. I didn't poke him with a stick.
Well, no, because Moon didn't go with you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. How can you be sure that they're alive if you don't do the handkerchief test?
We stop throwing handkerchiefs on possible traps.
Do you want to throw yourself?
That's not failed so far.
Was there anywhere near the house we could hide, take cover from? Assess the situation?
Yes, you could sneak around it.
Why would the spirits be heading to a house? If they are spirits, and this isn't a trap. Which it most likely is.
Maybe that's not their final destination.
Maybe they're bringing stories.
Perhaps they help that
Sounds-
person?
Sounds very suspicious. We could do with getting a better view on this house. See if we can spot who it is they're visiting.
Well,
Yeah.
not too far up.
Okay. Let me just drag you on to that.
Well, it's up just a little further. There we go.
Hopefully you can all see.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not sure if it looks a bit weird on my screen.
It's got a big bit on the left.
Yeah, there's a large. Ignore the black, but it should allow you to position the map because it's long and thin.
I'm a monk of the shadow.
Definitely
I can't
nothing for you
ignore
to worry about in that dark space.
Just ignore it.
Nothing to worry about, folks.
It's a trap. The skirt is going to drop and there's going to be loads of people there.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is dark here. You're likely to be eaten by a crew.
No, it's
Maybe.
alright. We got a torch
There you go.
Oh.
and a
Help you.
handkerchief.
there's 2 houses now.
There's two farm buildings you see as the mist
What
clears.
madness is this?
They're
There's
duplicating.
2 houses, 2 wells.
Duplicating is a fun word to say in this accent.
I
Duplicating.
think someone's just updated the Matrix.
The Matrix is duplicating. No, that's gone word. Abandon the show.
And a graveyard.
Okay, let's advance with caution.
The house is moving now. It's-
I thought. There you go. Right, I'll just stay still now. There we are. Yeah, there's 2 houses. As the mist clears, you suddenly see that there's 2 houses. The mist has cleared, and it's all awesome. There is somebody, however, further ahead. They're muttering to themselves. They've got a hoe in their hand, and they're just chipping away at this land. There are
That's
some
horrible.
sort of crops, some sort of root crops. It looks like they're tending to, but they are desperate. They are really terrible looking. They're destroyed. This person seems to be keen on tending to them.
I don't like the look of him. I think this is a trap.
Hey, fella,
Everything is a trap.
you should wait. You want to see if you have some better luck with some magic beans.
Cookie, whatever you do, don't piss on his crops.
Do we need
So
more
much soil,
beans?
so many beans. So little time.
I'm
looks-
not
Yeah.
stopping, I just follow the spirit things.
He looks mad. I've never seen someone so aggressively farming.
Isn't that how you farm?
Maybe
you-
he's just determined.
Yeah, you get closer and you see that there's sort of vines that are held up on something, and then as you get closer to them, there's a pool of what looks to be writhing something. There's an awesome pool of dark water that looks like a bit like a fetid pool. Do you walk out the trees? Do you walk out of these shrubs, these broken shrubs that are there?
Yeah,
that-
I will.
I'm
Whereabouts
following
is he on the
spirit
map?
things, so if they go out of the trees, then
Yeah.
Yeah, the spirit
Yeah, I
things are
can't let them
following
go alone.
forward. Yeah, on that path. Let's just give you a person. And they are.
I need a person. I'm already a person.
You recognize them as being a Shadowkai.
I'm sorry, my giant lolcat friend. I've got some bad news for you.
I'm not
These-
a person.
You are not a people.
Moon cannot be people.
No.
That's gonna make my brain go in a very weird place, actually. Let's stop that one.
Yeah, so
I think, therefore I am.
Moonkin has cheeseburger?
you've got this elven-looking figure, quite old, leaning over a hoe, grinding away at the ground around these vines. I'll give you a token in just a minute when I find something that looks halfway suitable. Yeah, here you go. How about this? This'll do.
I thought you said it was a woman.
Yeah, and this person is just basically
Earthquake.
he's got his back turned and he's muttering to himself. And as you walk out, he looks up, and you see this. And as you walk closer and follow these spirits, he first of all sees the spirits and he looks up, and then he sees you moving.
Hello.
And he just says, Stay away from me, stay away from them. And he points over at the pool.
Would your character elaborate, friend?
Does he need to elaborate? I think that was pretty clear.
He walks over.
Who are them?
And
Why
stands.
should we keep away from you?
He stands next to the pool of fetid water, and you see that it's writhing as he walks close to it. And inside the water, there's something moving. And he says, "Just be on your way. Bright lights like you don't need to be here." And then he
well, thank you.
and he walks off, checking that, and he just walks down the path towards his house. And you hear him muttering. He's like, "Bloody idiots! They probably don't even have a stone with them." And he walks into the house and slams the door, such as it is.
How many
A
stones?
stone?
Yeah.
Maybe we should try the other house.
Yeah. Moon's been preparing for this dimension for his entire life. He's the wealthiest man in the Shadowfell with all of his rock and stone.
Where are
I
the
don't think we should go
spirits
near
gone?
the pool. Could be a trap.
Well, we could set fire to it and see what happens.
You can't set fire to a pool.
It did seem
I
somewhat
mean,
of
no
a
one said it was
lights.
water.
True. Moon, go see if it's water.
Okay.
Don't
I'll
touch
shoot
it,
it.
Moon.
Yeah. I'll shoot it with an eldritch blast to see if it reacts at all.
So you walk up to this pool of black.
I mean, I'll do it from where I'm standing. I'm not going anywhere near it.
Okay, black fetid water as Moon walks up to it, and the energy barrels into this pool, and the water spooshes up. Can I get a dex saving throw from Moon, please?
No,
Because
I
you
can't
get a
find it on my
+1
sheet.
for every rock he
Give me
has.
a second.
Yeah, you jump out the way of this water as you see this eldritch blast land into it, and you also hear a kind of as this thing, the bolt disappears into the sucturing, stagnant pool, and you hear a scream.
See, it's not water.
And then
Hi.
and you see a small undercarriage, like some sort of beastie, ribbed, with its arms, legs, whatever, kind of pointing up in the air, and yeah.
Is it dead?
God damn it, Kai, if that was acid, you could have killed Moon.
I did tell him not. I did tell him to stop. He carried on.
No, you didn't. You did not say stop.
I said, "Don't." I'll eldritch blast it, and then I did.
You just blasted it.
He carried on walking.
And with that, the guy runs out and he says, "What are you doing? What the? Oh my! What have you
That was a
done?"
splash. That was
And
a splash. I think some kind of skeletally, spidery creature fell in the puddle.
He jumps into the pool, and he grabs this thing, picks it up in his arms, turns around, and then walks back, as you're standing watching him, and he's just muttering. It's like bloody, and you can hear him just swearing. Moon, you understand him. Cookie, you understand him perfectly.
Yes, we do.
So
Do
what did
we
he say?
recognize what's in his arms?
It looked like
Can we make out what it is?
yeah, sure. It looked like a giant woodlouse or something along those
Aw.
nature.
No, now I kind of feel bad.
Maybe we should find another house.
There's one over there.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's check the other.
Try the other one.
Okay.
Andrew's gonna head over to the other house.
Yeah. Okay. And you walk over to the other house, and again, you see a well. You see the entranceway into the house. The ghosts by this point are out of view. You can't see them anymore.
Oh no. Did they
Well, they-
continue on past the houses? Or did
Yeah, they continued on. Yeah, you would have seen that. You were watching them, so yeah, they continued on. And you walk up to this, and you hear tears. You hear somebody crying from inside the house.
Does it sound like a woman, a man, or a child?
A woman.
I can hear somebody crying in there. Maybe they need help.
Yeah.
But be
Look, through the
careful.
window.
It could be a trap. Adric's gonna go straight for the front door.
Yeah.
If
You
it's
find
still
out
there.
everyone's now upset that we killed the neighborhood dog.
I will accompany the dwarf.
You killed Pookie.
Yeah. You killed Biscuit, you bastard.
Oh no.
Aye,
Right.
so you knock on the door, right?
I'll back up
Hello?
Cookie.
Is anybody there?
And you just hear. But. Hello?
We're here to help.
Kinda.
Yeah, and the crying stops, and you hear footsteps, and then you just don't see her from around the corner. You say, "Who are you? You sound different. Who
We're travelers.
have you come back to finish the job?"
No, we've never been here before. We're passing through. We were following some ghosts, and I think we may have killed your neighbour's dog.
That was a dog?
Well, I'm not going to say a woodlouse, am I?
He doesn't
That was a
have
woodlouse?
dogs. He the ghosts.
Okay.
They're going on their way. They're just they go where they need to go. She's calling them.
Who's calling
That's fine.
them?
Ah, then we should go where the ghosts are going. We want to find who's in charge.
Who's
And-
calling them?
Yeah, this an old again Shadow Kai. Again this really kind of pale skin, and she looks at you and says, What are you?
He's a dwarf.
What? How? I'm going to.
Never seen a dwarf before, ma'am.
They can walk on their hands.
My children.
Oh,
Can
Yes?
she? Yeah. Can you roll perception as she comes into view?
I am very perceptive.
what a lovely house you have!
I wonder if it has a bed.
Moon, in her hand, she's holding what looks to be a torn scrap of a baby blanket. And you notice a little bit of blood on her upper sleeve.
You have some blood there. Is something wrong?
And as soon as she looks down and you draw attention to it, she starts crying again. Just my children. My children, I love them. I can't lose that. I can't lose that. I can't lose. I mustn't. And she looks down at the hand. You see her just squeezing her hand really tight. I'm sorry. You don't look like you've been here. You say you're travelers. I don't know why you've come here. You should not have come here. Too much is lost. And she turns around and closes the door.
Well,
Unusual.
maybe we should press on and follow those ghosts. I don't think we're going to get anything from these two lunatics.
I mean, Kai did kill that man's woodlouse.
I'm pretty sure it was already dead.
Then why was it swimming?
I think it was dead just in the water. Or whatever.
Although it did make a scream when you hit it, so maybe it wasn't dead, actually. Now I think about it. But whatever
It was just mildly, it was just post-mortally, surprised is all.
No, these poor
It
people.
was just releasing gas.
Anyway, I think maybe we should, like escape and gas, marsh gas, or some stuff. Do we follow these ghosties to see where their leader is?
I don't think we're going to get any from these. We're clearly not welcome here.
The lady in the house said that ghosts are going to her.
Yes.
That she's calling.
Not her specifically.
Not
Yes.
to her.
No.
but to
No.
her.
Her as
with
in
a-
another woman.
Her with the big H, I think you'll find.
Yes, that's what I
I'm
mean.
guessing.
How
I
could
was
you
saying
tell
that,
she
yes.
capitalized?
That's how you say
I
it.
read the subtitles.
It's right there.
I can't remember how to turn them on. Yes. Well, let's press on. Cookie, catch up with the ghosts. We'll follow. But be careful. It could be a trap.
Roll perception.
Yeah. I
As
think we
you
might be
walk out
walking to
looking.
I think we might be walking to the most dangerous part of the Shadowfell. I don't think we need to worry about traps too much.
Yeah, you can't see them at this point. Cookie, you don't know where they are.
I will look. I saw them go that way. Wow. That's unfortunate.
The fog closes. As you say that way, the fog just closes around. And your vision is limited to about 100 meters.
Why do I feel like we're about to be stuck in this god-awful place?
No, I definitely won't be, but if you want to be, that's fine.
There's a path that leads in the general direction you were looking, Moon.
Let's follow this path. This seems like the way. I'll start
They
walking.
were traveling straight. I would assume they'd keep that way.
Let's see if we can catch up to them and see them.
And as you walk out of the path, you come to a gate, and the fence is broken down on one side, and you walk around the broken bit, and there's a sign on the there's a sign on the fence on the gate, and it says Guff Reckup.
Has anybody seen that name before?
Have I seen that name before?
So maybe on what's her
I'm
name's
going
list.
to roll a dice, but my card sheet isn't loading again.
Hey.
Maybe it's written backwards. because we're in a shadow dimension.
What,
Anyone know
Buck
what
and
Buck or
Fug?
Fug? Buck or Fug,
Who's-
yeah.
What's it?
Bug or Buck? I don't know. Maybe it's an anagram. I don't know.
Well, I'm very good with anagrams.
I've already done one anagram recently. I don't need another.
Moon, you heard a story a long time ago about somebody who farmed and ate bugs. The bugs were a particular crop that was being raised, and it was outlandish at the time, and it's just one of these stories that you discounted, but with that role, you're able to recall it. This was actually a farm on the material plane that bugs were the delicacy. So yeah, this is something, but you don't recall the details of it or anything. You just remember that there was a farm, and that's what the thing that kind of sticks to your mind.
This reminds me of a study of a farm on the material plane. This could be a shadow of the same thing with the
Some kind
big
of
bug.
copy.
Yeah, that point, maybe that's quite an interesting thing for Moon as well. The stories that you have heard about Shadowfell, they always seem to have that connection, that slight echo of something that was on the material plane, allegedly, because you've never been here until now. So that's something that sticks in your mind as well. The path leads on, and you continue down it. As you're walking down the path through the stone, just to your left, you're walking in quite an enclosed gully, I guess. At this point, the path still leads down. What's your marching order? Who's walking first? Because at this point, you're only able to walk in pretty much single file.
Monks are kind of leading ahead,
Yeah.
and then I suppose it'd be
I feel uncomfortable when the tank
Yes.
says I'm going ahead of him.
you're going ahead because you're scouting. We're trying to find the ghost. Told you to head up.
Yeah. I'd take the rear, but you don't want to have the short guy at the back where you won't be able to see anything.
I will lead the way.
Yeah. So
We're like Moon and Cookie, and then
Yeah.
me, Tanner, Ariel, and Kai all in a bundle.
yeah, so you're kind of bundling down, but as much as you can through this narrow bit, and it's at that point you all see behind Moon one of these apparitions pops out, and it just silently glides across the path through one side of the rock and into the next. You see it crossing over. Moon, could I get you to do a dexterity check, a dexterity save, please?
I like to save my dexterity for
You-
important situations.
Just out the corner of your eye, as you take a few steps forward, and before you hear anything from the party behind you, you get this just slight glow movement in the eye to your left, in your peripheral vision, and you immediately jump or roll ahead, behind, wherever.
What? Jump? In dim light? I just teleport 20 feet away.
Yeah, okay, so you just teleport, you just go, yeah, right, there you go. You just go, and you just suddenly, and then as you turn around to see what it is, you see another one of these figures just crossing from one side to the rock, just appears out of it, and by this point it's already kind of fully formed out of it, and it just carries on forward and then into the rock on the other side.
These things are weird. I'll wait until the party's caught up a bit and then carry on marching.
Yeah. And at this point, you've walked for a fair bit, like an hour or so. So you've covered a few miles, and this sense of just, I don't know, this sort of draining sense of this place has not left you. you're aware of it everywhere you look. Occasionally you see through the mist more hills forming in the background, and then it closes down again. And at one of these points, Moon, you see what looks to be a more substantial development. You see more houses, but tall. The first ones that you see look to be 3 or 4 stories. And they just seem to seemingly appear out of nowhere, and then the mist closes around them again.
Do you guys see structures up ahead? I'll call back towards the party.
More houses?
I think so, but taller ones, like the ones in Neverwinter.
Maybe a town. Or remnants of.
Still no eye on those ghosts?
The one went past. Did you not see it?
No. This fog is
Went
too
into a
thick.
wall. I see.
See, maybe you should scout ahead to those houses, see if there are more strange people there. Don't attack
Okay.
their dogs.
If I find somewhere safe, I will leave you a light. You can look for a light. And I'll rush off ahead.
Okay. You follow the path. It leads to a group of buildings which just happen to be there. There's no obvious sign of any pretense at a community. There's just these big, tall buildings that sprout out of nowhere. And looking down the street, you see maybe this goes on for a few blocks. It's substantial. The homes are made of stone, of wood, but not all of them are complete. Some of them are destroyed, some of them rubble, some of them broken with holes in the front, but not all of them. Maybe only when you're looking from where you can see about maybe 20% of them look to be actually intact. And of those 20%, you see very dim light emanating from maybe 3 or 4 of them.
I'll walk over to one of the lit ones and see if there's a window or something I can see in through.
Yeah. And you're looking through the window, and you see an old-looking woman sitting in a rocking chair at the back of the room. There are benches down the side of the room, and on them there are a few bottles, maybe something that looks like vegetables.
A motorbike?
It's like clockwork, isn't it?
It's a strange thing to find the Shadowfell.
Yeah, amazing. Just somebody with a Shadowfell Harley going down the street. Yeah, so you are you look in this, and as you look up, you see a sign above the door.
Oh yes, I see it. It reads insert sign here.
Yeah, it says a picture of a sickle and some corn or wheat or something like that. The rest of you catch up by this time?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you see the same thing as you watch. These buildings just sprout out of nowhere. And then again, the destruction. And you see Moon standing, kind of looking up at the sign above one of the doors as he's looking in through the window.
I'll walk over to the door and knock on it.
Hmm. And you hear, "Come in! Come in!"
Okay. Move the door handle and put myself inside.
Welcome. Welcome. You are not here. You do not live here.
I'm here. I think.
Yeah, and she stands up and looks around and says, "I'm afraid that we don't have much for sale, but we have food. If you have the coin or the stone, then we will
Oh,
do the
look
trade."
over the food that's on offer.
Yeah, it looks. It doesn't look nice. It looks edible, but it looks like it's been. It doesn't look fresh. It doesn't look like the kind of food that you were just you just ate at just previous, like an hour, 2 hours before. It's clearly got some nutritious value to it, but it looks just withered, sickly.
Can I tell what it is? Is it a familiar plant to me?
Some sort of root crop, like a parsnip or something.
I will take one. So, pick one up now. Root about my pockets and hand her a couple of crystals that I took from the mage tower.
And she looks at this with fascination and says, "This?
It is a stone, yes?
What does it signify?" And she looks really interested. She sits forward, holds it in her hand, and turns it over several times.
It signifies mystery and travel. With these stones you can go to places.
"And you give this up? Oh, you must take everything in the shop."
I do not wish to take all of your wares.
No,
I
it's-
wish to see some of them. I will
You
take
must-
one more for my friend. I'll pick up another parsnip thing. Shut up, parsnip.
Yeah, there's only about 4 of them in a couple of bottles. "You give this? Oh, this," and she looks at it and spins it around in her hand. "Oh, well, I do not know where you've come from, but you are welcome to come back any time if you are so hungry as to give up so much."
It
And-
is. Would
We're
have many
seeking
things I can.
someone.
And she looks
If you could
startled.
give
as-
us directions.
Hello, Cookie. I found you this thing. I hand Cookie one of the roots.
It's kind of like withered parsnip thing.
I hold it up with 2 fingers and just kind of wiggle it and shake my head.
Thank
You
you,
like
Moon.
food, yes?
And you watch as she holds the stone in one hand and she grabs hold of her shawl and she pulls it just a little bit further back up her head as it slipped down. And she looks up at you again.
Hello.
"Yeah, of course. If I can help you, it's not Shadow Guy. If I can help you, of course I will."
We're seeking an audience with the Queen.
"Oh, I see." And she looks at you knowingly. "What is it that you've come here to forget? Adventure like your friend?" And she looks over at Moon.
Is that why people come here? To forget?
"Well, yes, when you give up," and she holds up the stone, "then you forget. Of course, this can only be why he traded so much for so little." She grabs her shawl again, holds it, pulls it up. So you're trying to get through to where she is. You seek an audience.
Yes,
How interesting.
we have more things that the Queen must have.
Oh, I am sure bright lights like yourself have already shone far and wide.
Do you think she knows we're here?
Yeah, I think. Well, it sounds more ominous, regardless of whose attention it attracts.
There are things there that you do not wish to find or to be found by. You must be careful. You need your talismans. You each have one, yes? Or more than one. Some to spare, some to trade, she says, and she holds up her crystals.
Yes, I carry many.
We'll need something to trade? For entry?
She kind of leans forward conspiratorially. It is said that to meet the Raven Queen and gain an audience, pilgrims must complete a challenge at the 4 Pillars of Fate outside her palace.
Well, we bring much talent with us.
I do not know what these are. But as we are so close, we gain certain favor and protection from her by being here. And she pulls her shawl up again because it keeps slipping down. She grabs it and pulls it up over her head, and she takes the stone and says, "Adventure! Imagine that! Adventure!" And she looks up at you, Moon, and says, "Why do you wish to forget adventure? Why would you trade this one?"
I have many such adventures. I am a collector among my people of such things, and in this place it seems I must give them out.
If you have come here to forget, then this is the best way.
There are things I would like to forget. If I could have an audience with the Queen.
Yes, she would be interested, and I'm sure she would help. But... And she grabs her shawl again and pulls it up. Don't forget. She looks up. It's getting cold. Could you close the door, please?
Yes. I'll walk over and close the door.
And she sits back down on her rocking chair. I like that. I remember the cold. I like that. I like to feel reminded. I like when the draft comes in, but I do like to have the door closed. It does make one's life a little bit more comfortable.
So can you tell us which way? Or how we could gain the audience of the Queen?
Well, you must first find the 4 Pillars of Fate, as I understand for I have never been to see her. Of course, we are in her devotion, at her will, but I have never needed to see her. And she kind of looks and around, says, "If you follow through the town, you will find what you're looking for at the end. The first wall of the fortress, at the first gate. You should be able to find what you're looking for, I'm sure, if she hasn't already noticed you."
Now, how long has it been since we slept?
You were traveling from the outpost. You had slept at the farm.
Yeah, we slept at the farm and then
Yeah.
we travelled.
And you travelled.
Since then.
So
So we got to Agtamar's, refined caverns in exile, and then ate there and went to Shadowfell.
yeah.
So we haven't slept since the farm.
So it's probably getting on a bit.
So maybe we
The fog
ask
would probably
her if
be
we
making
can
it
stay
darker.
the night. Give her a bean, maybe. Trade her a bean.
You give her several, just, you know.
Is there somewhere here that we
Bean.
could sleep? That we could stay for the night?
Yes. You could speak. There's a lovely young woman just down the street. She will be able to feed, and I am sure she's always very kind and helpful to strangers like you. How interesting. And you come with so much to give.
Okay, thank you. And I'll let myself out. Close the door behind me. Because of the draft. I mean, I'll probably hold it open if Cookie's leaving with me, but then I'll close it behind me.
Yeah, I don't know if the others are in the shop or not, but you all meet up outside. Either way. Unless there's anything you want to ask of the old lady.
I'm gonna reach into my backpack and give her some spices that I have in there. A little packet of ground up spices.
Oh wow! And she looks at you. Her eyes are open, and she says, "What are these, and what are they to you?"
These are spices. Add them to your food, and they will give you memories.
And for you?
Oh, they have all sorts of memories for me.
And you give them up so readily. You have all come to forget. She will be delighted. And she pulls at her cowl again. Puts the spices in a just to her side, on her lap. She continues to rock. She says, "Well, travelers and visitors, I hope you get everything you're looking for." You walk out.
Thank you very much, and well met.
And I close the door behind us.
I think I am developing a theory. If I think back to the Mage Tower, where Adric reduced a man to jam, that's literally what I've written down.
You didn't have to You didn't have to mention that. Could have just said
What
the
I've written
tower where
down.
we got teleported. You know.
My list in my trinket says shiny pretty crystals from Tower Prison of Doom and People Mess, where Adric made someone into jam. That's what it says. Nonetheless, in the Prison Tower of Doom and People Mess, do I still remember everything that happened there?
You do, but strangely, you feel less curious about it. As if almost
It doesn't happen.
that sense that you had, yeah, you just feel slightly less curious about remembering that story. You feel less curious about that, the essence that was it. You still remember the events, but that kind of driving edge that you remember, the exploration over the castle walls, the portals, all the excitement about the new things that you'd never experienced, that just doesn't quite seem as important to you as it did. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a bit of a revelation as you're kind of pondering that as you meet up with the rest of the group. That'd be a good time for a break, and we could regather in 10 minutes and find out what happens in this strange town.
As we join the others, I'll just quickly say to them, we must be sure not to give anything away here. If things carry feelings and memories here, giving things away reduces those feelings, and you may forget the things. Also, we're going this way. There's a young woman who has an inn. And I'll start wandering off towards the end.
Yeah.
And then we can take a break.
Yeah.
Okay. But just be careful in this inn. It could be a trap.
I feel like our barbarian's trap sense is too tingly.
He's tired,
Excellent.
okay?
Yeah. If I had a gold piece for every time he said it's been a trap in the last couple hours.
I'd go please for every time I've level of exhaustion in the last couple of hours.
Okay, yeah, we'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be back in roughly 10 minutes. There's no timer, because it's still broke. So just, 10 minutes on your own watch, be it this time. Catch you in a bit. Bye.
Yeah.
Hello. We're back.
Welcome back.
How are y'all doing?
Back again.
We'll get straight into the game as quickly as possible. We'll just quickly run through a few shout-outs. Thank you, Dave, for following. Dave, Hagen Idiot. Thank you for the follow.
Again.
Matt, thank you for the 10-month subscription. Very much appreciated. Yana, thank you for the bitties. Lloyd, thank you for the bitties. Mima, thank you for the bitties. Groy, thank you for the subscription. Keen, thank you for the bitties. Lloyd, thank you for the gift sub. Well done, Winnie, for forgetting that gift sub as well. Keen, thank you for the resubscribe as well. Ange can't be here, but you've managed to subscribe. Thank you very much. And Mima, thank you for subscribing as well. Thank you guys for the subscribe. We did notice the train right at the very beginning. It was appreciated. It's not often we get the woo-woos. Thank you. As always, guys, if you are interested in getting involved, all we really care about is you join us on our Discord, really, more than anything. Come and get involved. Come and join up with the games that are going on our Discord. Tell us what you think. Get involved. Talk about crap and everything. We've always got some nice conversations going some way. Don't look in the SG chat. There's no conversations going on in there at the moment. Just a lot of complaints.
There's a recurring conversation.
The same conversation.
Crying.
Stargate brings tears.
Yeah. If you remember correctly, back in January, we said we will be bringing Stargate to the channel as soon as it's released. That's still the intention.
That's still true. You didn't give it a time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither did they.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
It's one of them. I believe it's going to be delayed a little bit further now because MGM have decided to sell the whole of Stargate rights now to Amazon.
Oh, really?
So-
Wow, okay.
And since the book was not
They got
green
bought out.
flagged, it's probably pending
Oh, of
now for
course.
Amazon to approve it. So, yay! Thank you,
Wow.
MGM, once again. You fucked over another part of Stargate.
Yeah, they've sold out.
Just when you thought it couldn't
Amazon
get
whole-
worse.
It seems to be a
I mean,
common
to
thing
be
with
fair-
Stargate.
I
They've
mean, to be
literally
fair,
done
they
this on
got
every
cancelled by
franchise.
Sci-Fi. They got cancelled by Sci-Fi, and they're still MGM. They're just owned by Amazon.
Yeah, it's just I don't know at this point. Is the Stargate, everything Stargate just cursed?
Curse.
Who knows? If you've got an opinion, come and join us in the Stargate chat room. That's probably what it's all going to be for now. I don't think we'll ever get an actual game going in it. So we'll just have a go at Stargate ownership and everything. But yeah, we've got that coming as soon as we can. At some point, we are going to get some more games up, more variants and that. So yeah. Come and join us. If you've missed any of our episodes or you're new here and you've not seen anything and you'd like to catch up, go and check out our YouTube. We post all the videos up there. Well, we try to. I've missed one, and it was one of the best ones.
Just the one.
Yeah, go over there, go check out the videos, and if you'd like to tweet to us, check out our Twitter. But yeah, thank you everyone for following and subscribing. We do appreciate it, but all we really, we just want you to follow us. On Twitch, on YouTube, and on Discord if you wouldn't mind. Let us know whether or not we're doing crap or not. That's all we ask. Yeah, so thank you guys. So we'll get straight in, shall we, Croy? Straight back in.
Yes.
We're in this town and we've got a map.
Yes. This town that is clearly just arrived somehow in the midst of all of everything. It just sits there as if a powerful wind would just make it disperse, but the wind itself has probably been the cause of the destruction. That you look around the buildings that you're standing, even the one that you just walked out of, they're not in great nick, but those ones at least have a roof that works and no holes in the walls and windows are in place. The next 5 or 6 down the street just aren't. They're just nothing. They're some of them are cracked. Their roofs are falling in. Who knows? They're just destroyed. It's wrecked. And you walk down the street a bit further, and as you're doing so, behind you, as you're looking around, Moon, you'd probably be the first to notice this. You see one of these figures just floating down the street behind you.
I'll just keep an eye on it for a second. Is it moving in our direction?
Yeah, it's moving in the same direction that you're moving. It's moving down.
I'll just sort of nudge the others to move to the side then, let it float past. I've touched these. It's not pleasant.
Well, I think if we can get a rest here, it's probably best before we go on.
So yeah, he watches this thing carries on its business, just floating down the street, pays you no heed whatsoever, and just carries on. Moon, give me a perception check on that one as it goes past.
I can do that. No, I can't. My card sheet is closed. 1 second. No, I can.
Yeah, it looks a bit different from the other one. It's slightly bigger, maybe. Slightly higher up off the ground or something. You're not sure. Just doesn't look the same. Similar, but different.
I'll walk up and touch it.
Okay. Now, with your knowledge of what it does, do you attempt to resist what happens next, or do you allow it to happen?
I mean, the previous one just showed me some visions, memories.
You pulled back before you saw them.
I'll allow it to show me. We'll see what it has to show.
So you put your hand forward, and your hand goes into there, and immediately you feel that same pull. Your vision is transported entirely. You're in an opulent room. There are pillars laced with gold. There are pictures on the wall of ancient-looking kings, perhaps, on the table in front. there is gold, a stack of gold, a huge pile of gold, and you look down on this, and you hear the words muttered, "No, of course we will go to war. That would be our pleasure. There have been a thorn in our side for far too long. The destruction of, I assure you, will be complete." And you see a figure opposite, just looking pleased, an elven figure. You don't recognize them. And they say, Good. This has been a most fruitful meeting. I look forward to the business being completed next year. And reaches forward to shake to shake your hand, and your hand stretches out, and you grab the hand, shake it, and there's laughter from behind you, and you turn around, and you see another elf, just hands clasped, wringing their hands, looking very pleased, and says, "Will I make the preparations, sir?" And then at that point, "Yes, let this be the day. Let this be the most monumentous day in our history." And then it just, when you come back, and you're back in the street again.
I'll step away from the orb thing.
Yeah,
Orb thing.
floaty, misty thing. Yep. And it continues to float down the street.
We should try not to touch these. They have memories in them.
Moon, you should try not to touch everything.
But how else would I learn about it?
Yes, but it could be a trap.
That's what you are for. If there's a trap, you detect it.
I don't have some sort of trap sensing ability.
No, but watch. Then I throw a coin at him.
The coin hits Edric on the forehead and bounces off.
You see? You detected it.
Ow.
How tall is Edric?
He's not very, he's a dwarf. He's 4'4".
Okay. The coin does nothing. I walk over and pick up the coin. Put it back in my pocket.
And so you continue to walk down the street towards the building that was indicated to you, and sure enough, a few blocks down, you discover a slightly bigger building that looks a little bit more intact. Again, this very dim glow emanating from outside it. No light is keen enough to pierce this. It just doesn't work the way that you think it should. And there's a large set of doors, double doors, at the top of 4 or 5 stairs, and there's a veranda at the front of it, wood around it, and the door has windows at either side.
This looks like the one we were told to go into. Adric, you go first.
Fine. Send the dwarf in first.
I'm right behind you. Just go ahead.
It's fine. I'll kill anything that's in here.
And as you open the door, you just hear ding, ling, 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 ling as it knocks a bell, and you just hear like a sound of an axe hitting wood with a kind of squelch in the middle of it, something like that. Anyway, you're not entirely sure, and your voice shouts, "I'll be with you in just a minute."
Take your time.
And then just like, and you just hear another this kind of squelching sound, and a young man walks out from the room down just a bit further down the corridor, and he's got some sort of cloth in his hands, and he's rubbing it. He sees rubbing blood off his hand, and he looks up and says, "Travellers new to the land. How are you? And how can I help? Have you come looking for lodgings?"
Yes, we have. We wish to stay the night. The 6 of us. Have you
course.
got room to accommodate?
the first people that I have seen, well, in quite some time. Of course. And he walks over to this to the desk at the kind of thing at the front. He looks about for some paper. He finds a ledger book and says, "Okay, 6 people. Well, you can have a room each. You could have a floor each," he says. And looks down and says, "Not a problem. I'll be up. Please, just go upstairs and find a room. How are you paying? Would you prefer to give coin, or do you have any stones? You look like you might. You look like you might have a touchstone or two to provide, perhaps as payment. No? Yes?
Yes, I have stones. And I'll
You do?
put down a couple more of the crystals.
Oh, those. Oh.
And she says, "No." He says he looks at you and says, "No." He looks like he's again a Shatterkai, but looks at you, kind of, almost like sad sort of looking eyes, maybe looking at you, and says, "No, not touchstones. You need to form touchstones. You need to make sure that your memories are locked with them. Only give away that which you can afford. Don't give." And he looks at you. "What is this?" And he takes it and picks it up. "What does it represent?"
This represents adventure, mystery, knowledge, turning people into jam.
Will you stop mentioning that?
And these are things that you wish to forget? The touchstone will hold you to these things, you understand. Don't give them up too clearly, too easily. And he holds it, and he holds it back to you, and says, "I will take gemstones. I will take gold." He holds it back up to you.
I have more.
Okay. He says, "Well, if you've come here to forget, then this is the way to go about it." And he takes off, and he says, "This is more than enough for all of you.
We would
cannot take any
appreciate
more."
some food as well, some supper.
"I was just preparing that. I will continue." And he says, "Please help yourself upstairs. Just take a room, any one that you prefer. They are not locked and can be locked from the inside if you wish." And he walks off and says, "I'll just go and finish dinner." And as you see, he walks through into the room, and you hear again just this kind of noise. He's clearly, yeah. Adric, you've got an idea. Cookie, you've got an idea. He sounds like he's butchering something.
Turning it into jam.
Sounds like he's butchering a whale back there. Right.
I hope it's not whatever came out of that pool.
Good point. Cookie, have you got any food on you?
I have some in my backpack. Don't worry.
Okay. Better. We may have a feast upstairs later. See what.
Here you go.
what
I have
he
this
made.
native fruit. And I hand him the parsnip.
Right. Come on, let's go find which rooms are which, and
as you walk past towards it, you look in to see this. He's on a counter. He's standing behind the counter. He's got a big meat cleaver in his hand, and he's cutting something that looks like a shellless, multi-legged creature. He's cutting the legs off, and he's tossing the legs into the corner of the room, and you just hear. And then he's saying, "It won't be long. It's just, we're having stew tonight." And he continues, and you see him, he's cutting off the last leg, and he chucks it into the corner. And you just hear, you can't see what it is, but he's obviously...
yes, I don't think I'll be eating actually tonight.
Your stews are weird. This
Never
is
been
the
one for
party
seafood, I
rather
think.
than to the innkeeper.
Yeah, he looks at tastes lovely, and he cuts into it, and you see as he cuts into it the flesh, as he cuts in down the limb of this thing, it looks fleshy, but this slightly blackish looking water just sort of falls out and onto the bench. It's not particularly pleasant, but it does look like flesh anyway. But you're not quite sure, and you carry on. I guess you carry on walking. You maybe don't want to, unless you want to go and investigate further, which you're entitled to. You...
Looks like the pool that I killed.
I'm glad I brought some of that ale.
Come on, we will go and find rooms. Head towards the stairs.
Do you think it necessary for us to keep watch tonight?
He said the room's locked from the inside.
I don't think we'll be in too much harm here. I don't think this is clearly a place where anybody ever comes. And by the looks of it, I don't think they ever leave.
Yeah, so maybe we spend the night.
Yeah, and you don't go downstairs for food.
No.
Ariel does. She volunteers to go down and
And
get
ask for
some
clean
food.
sheets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Tanner will as well. He'll eat anything. So yeah.
I will go down and try this stew. This woodlouse stew. I will eat this.
And Cookie shares her little treasure trove that she stuffed into her backpack from the feast we were at.
And Adric will pour out his little flask of beer from the feast as well for everyone.
Yeah, and it's that tastes amazing. That stuff does. That really, even something about it just enlivens you. Just it's beautiful. Meanwhile, down in Bug Stew Land, the plate that's put in front of you, there's some sort of pulse with it. Some sort of like rice or bean or something.
I'm aware of what a pulse is, thank you.
Oh, I thought you meant it was beating on the plate.
I know somebody was going to misinterpret that.
I was
Just pulsing
picturing
on the
it
plate.
still- Yeah.
A good butcher, bring this back to life. Yeah, and
The oven works backwards.
it's okay. It's okay. It has weight to it. It kind of feels like it's meat. It's not exactly pleasant or fine, but it's all right. You know, it's not disgusting. I mean, unless you think about what it might have come from, in which case you probably would be put off it. But generally speaking, as you munch and crunch your way through it, it's just it's there. You know, it's done. It's not got a huge amount of flavor. It's relatively bland, but it's been cooked, and and you're joined by the host as well, who sits and eats with you. And he asks you, he says, so you've come here. You don't look like you belong here.
I don't belong here. I belong in Mastka.
Well, the world is big. I suppose there
Yes,
are
I've
many
seen a lot of
places.
it.
So why have you come here? You just look so full of something, energy, life, excitement. And he has his meat cleaver next to him. But he's got his knife and fork or whatever cutlery, and he's got his meat cleaver, and he just reaches out as he says, full of excitement, and grabs his meat cleaver, pulls his hand back, and says, "You were so keen to give away your memories. Have you formed touchstones? Have you? You're here to see her and forget, but Everything? Do you wish to forget all?
I have touchstones.
Good. Good. Keep those ones closest to you. Don't lose them. Don't let anybody take them, and don't trade them so easily. The stone that you gave me is so valuable. I don't know what to say. I feel almost bad taking it from you, but this is the way of the land. How are you enjoying the stew?
It tastes interesting. I have not tasted this animal before. What is it?
It's from the farm just up the road.
Oh yes, I think I've seen one recently.
Oh. Oh, then you've travelled some distance. Trust no trouble on the road?
Not this far, but trouble always lies ahead.
Trouble finds us easily. This close to the fortress, well, it's definitely safer here than it is out there.
Yes, but if I want to see her, I must go out there.
Oh, and it will be safer the closer you get.
Of course.
Has she spoken to you?
Not yet. But I think if I'm seeking for her, she will.
Hard to imagine one with so many memories, so many things. She must know you're here. Have you seen? And he looks. In the sky, and he's searching. He thinks it's no, never mind. How's the food?
It is good. I like this creature.
And make sure your touchstones are strong. Keep them close to you.
I will.
And he scrapes the last of the gruel out the bottom of it and spoons it. Well, if you don't mind, I must clean up. And are you finished? And he offers to take your plate. And
Yes. I'll push the plates across the table to him.
yeah, so he cleans up the table and takes the stuff through. And you hear it clanking as he walks away. And you're sat there with whoever came down with you.
Ariel and and Anna.
I believe I was abandoned by all these people who like better fur.
The room that you're in has very sparse furniture. The room that you're in is not well decorated. The wood has a slight blackened look to it, not perhaps by fire, but more of just decay. And there's a window behind which would really benefit some curtains, you think, as you look out over to the buildings on the other side through the gloom. And another one of these whatever spirit mist things flies slowly down past the window, not close to it, but down the middle street. And
I'll look out the window for a little while and sit there. pull a small wooden flute out of my pocket and start playing it.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Give us a performance check.
It won't be good. I don't know how to play the
About
flute.
to start a riot.
Moon,
What a
pack
noise.
it in! It's horrible! Try to sleep!
I'm sorry, it's out of tune.
Jesus, it's like cookies screaming.
You see.
I don't try for very long. It didn't sound good.
You see a man. You see a man walking down the street on your side of the street. And he's got a cane, and he looks up into the window and hears this noise.
wave.
And he just hurries. You see the cane. He just hurries on. Doesn't stop. Just kind of keeps
That will be
moving.
my reaction, sir.
Yeah, loads of cats in the neighbourhood start crying out and everything.
Yeah, and I think also as you're looking out on the other side of the street, you see 4 ravens just sitting on the balcony of one of the buildings on the other side. And as you start to play, they swoop off, they, jump off the balcony and fly away.
Everyone's a critic.
Moon, I've told you to pack it in. Try to sleep.
I will stop playing my flute and put it back in my pocket.
Yeah, just as you do that, you hear a howling noise coming from the other side of the corridor.
Cookie, stop singing. God, try to
It's
get some
not me.
sleep in here.
And it's the man you did that comes through, and he's clapping his hands completely out of time and singing along like just absolutely terribly. And he's not even able to keep a beat. He's just like, and his singing is completely atonal. It's just like it's just all over the place.
I like it.
Yeah, and he just smiles and says, "You're a very good player.
Oh, he's not.
I've not heard such." This voice keeps coming down. You've clearly chosen the floor right above this dining room area. You're right above it, and you just keep hearing Adric's voice just shouting down through the floorboards. And he says, "Thank you. I have not heard such a thing. You should keep hold of that flute."
I intend to.
And he looks out the window, and he says, he looks up, kind of sky. I don't see. There's none. It's I think.
In the sky?
Does that?
The
No,
stars?
it's fine.
Lights in the sky?
And he looks at you and says, "No, the ones that have the." And he just can't.
The
He
birds.
just can't.
The birds with the wings.
And he looks. He says, "Yes. They fly. They fly. They fly." And he looks like at you and says, "Amazing. That music is amazing." And he walks off back through to his room.
Yes, that is why I played this. I'm talking to myself here.
Yeah. Anything else happening in the hotel? Any conversations between y'all upstairs?
Dance about Moon's music.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I think we're
Keep an eye on this
generally
touchstone business. Yeah.
beat.
So are we to make a touchstone?
You touch the stone.
I would guess it's got to be something tied back to your normal life, like an anchor or something.
Well, a touchstone doesn't necessarily always mean an actual physical stone. Sometimes it could just be something that belongs to you, that provides memories. A photograph or an heirloom sort of thing.
It's a photograph.
I'm not sure anyone apart from Moon thought it was an actual stone.
A picture. Fuck you, Moon.
I'm not that. Do not swear at me.
I curse you in my sleep.
And with sleep, unless anybody's got any other business to take care of, you are all able to comfortably take a long rest.
Oh, thank God. Yay!
Could I please ask if when Cookie and Adric's supplies were shared, did Kai eat any of it?
Oh, it's poisoned. It's so poisoned.
Which supplies were these? Sorry. What did we share?
We shared the food and drink that we had brought from the party.
The doggy bag from the road.
No, I think-
Come to
yeah.
tomorrow next time.
I think he would have at that
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you do it does really taste good. There's a real sense of vitality about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ariel would have, because she was so convinced.
No, because Ariel and Tanner went down with Moon and they ate the bug, the disgusting
Yeah.
creature.
And they didn't have any. I'm not sure if Tanner. I'll have to find out from the VOD or from Mark if Tanner did eat anything at the restaurant.
I think he did.
Hmm.
I know he definitely drunk.
I know Ariel didn't.
Ariel didn't know.
Yeah. So I'll need to get Ariel to make a roll when she comes back. Okay, so yeah, you have your long rest. You have comfortable sleep. You feel refreshed, but still, in this day, there is a strange feeling in the air. It's just ongoing, this general malaise. It's quite unpleasant the way that it claws at you. Generally speaking, I don't think you feel comfortable. You can feel it trying to just draw you down, and it isn't happening at the moment. But you're starting to put together the fact that staying too long in this place might just not be altogether healthy for you. Having met some of the locals and having spent a couple of days now in the place, you're starting to feel like maybe there's a pressure there. But how you interpret that is up to yourselves. The pervasive gloom of the Shadowfell continues, even though it's supposed to be morning. You can still see no more than dim light. The smell that you have of wood smoke in the air, of rotten wood, and still these occasional whispers that you hear, just every slightly so often, just permeating your consciousness. It's damp, it's cold, and there's a heavy mist, just like the other day. What do you guys do today?
Okay. These 4 challenges.
Pillars. He said pillars.
You did say
He
pillars.
said pillars.
But I assume they're challenges of some sort.
That's what I'm expecting.
We need to get out of this fog. It's not doing any good. I feel horrible. I knew it was a trap.
Maybe because you didn't eat anything last night.
I feel
We ate.
better because I ate better than what you probably ate. I'm not sure what you ate was even an animal.
It was a woodlouse. Kai said so.
Exactly, and last time I checked, woodlice don't grow that big.
That's the first woodlouse I've seen.
Yes, they're usually nowhere near that size. Even for us dwarfs, they're still quite small.
It seems like it would be difficult to make a stew out of.
Usually, you don't.
Hmm.
It's not exactly the animal that you, well, eat.
That seems like a weird choice. It tasted good.
I find that so hard to believe. Anyway, we should get moving here. There's definitely something strange here. The people, the town, the food.
Dwarves.
Moon, that instrument you played last night, may I just have a look at it?
Yes, here you go.
And Adric
a
snaps
small
it in
one.
half as soon as he gets it.
Oh!
Oh, that's fine. I've got another one.
May I have a look at that as well?
No, that's somewhere else.
But it kept me up all night, that did.
How? I only played it for like 5 minutes.
I know, but it was ringing in my ears all night long. It was that
I
bad.
have a hearing problem.
Moon,
Yes,
you can't play.
that seems inaccurate. I'm playing
Physically.
this end, and noise comes out this end. I can play.
Physically, yes, you can play, but
Yes,
technically,
it's
no. You're terrible. Look, should we
There's some
go?
difference.
Should we go?
Okay.
Good.
Yes, let's start.
If I hear that instrument again, Moon, I'll break it round your neck.
I don't think you can. It's very small.
I've killed a man with less before.
So have I.
What? It's less than a broken instrument.
Yes.
That poor guy.
That doesn't seem worth clarification. Are you going to
As
Kill
you
the man
walk
with
out
the-
having this conversation, you walk out into the street, and on the other, you walk back down onto the street, and as you walk down, there's a couple of small kids that are playing just in the middle of the street. They're running around, chasing each other, and they stop as they see you walk out of the hotel into the street, and one of them whispers and points, and Moon, Cookie, you understand. It's like, no, you talk to them. No, you go up and poke them, see if they're real. Go on, I dare you. See if we've got any stories. See what they know. Go on, dare, double date, kind of like that, equivalent. And they basically, one of them runs up to you, Moon, I guess, if you're in front, or
Hello.
Adric, and just pokes you,
That is my leg. I need that for walking.
and he understands you, and he looks
Does?
at you and says, "What are you?" And he pokes you again.
I am a monk, a shadow dancer of Mystica.
Oh, shadows! I like shadows. Shadows are cool. I like shadows. And he turns around and shouts, "It's real!" And the other one runs up
I
to
am
you,
real.
and runs up to you and then pokes you just in the leg. And you see them excitedly talking to each other about how real you are.
Please stop poking my leg. I need that for
Try
walking.
poking him in the face.
I can't reach. And he kind of
It
jumps
is a
up.
bit higher.
And he looks at you and he says, "Oh, you've never seen anything like you before."
Yes, he is a bit of a strange one.
There's
He
another
looks at
one
you.
right there.
And he looks at Cookie. Yeah, you say that, and he looks at the two of them. Look at you, and they both run up to you, and they poke you. "You're all real as well!" And he pokes you, and he pokes you, Cookie. One of them pokes you. One of them pokes Adric, who's probably not so much taller than them.
The one who tries to poke me, Adric's going to grab their hand before they get to actually poke
Okay,
him.
yeah. So you kind of catch that, and you grab his hand. And he says, "Oh, ow!" You don't understand what he's saying, but Moon and Cookie do. And he's like, "Ah!" But you hear the definite sign.
And I throw the child away.
So you kind of grab him and just kind of boom. All right, yeah, you can do that. You're
This
super
is our
strong.
barbarian.
This is a
Hates
what?
our
This is
children.
yeah. This is a small child, and he skites along the street and he lands on his back and his legs, and he looks up at you, and he just can't believe it, and he runs away.
Bloody
He just
children.
runs. The other one's still there, and he backs off from Adric and kind of stands looking at Cookie, who clearly understands and isn't about to throw him across the street.
I can as well, Jade.
It says, if you don't hurt me, I'll tell you a secret. Don't hurt me, please. That he's mean.
He is. Just ignore him.
We do.
And
You do?
he
I said my
looks up.
accent, but I have a wangum in my mouth.
And I reach in my backpack and pull out a lump of sugar and I give it to the kid.
Oh wow! And he looks at this thing and he says, "Oh, do you? Is this a talisman?"
It's just a sweetie. Taste it.
Do you want to know how to turn it into a talisman? It'll protect you. He says, holding it.
Yes. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah. And he says, "Here," and he chucks it at you. And he licks his fingers because he says, and he's like, "Oh, it does taste nice." Yeah. You have to. He said, hold it, and think of who you are. Think of what you love. Think of all the things, and then when you concentrate for some time and focus, then that thing becomes your memory. It becomes the memory that you want to store about you, about who you are. My mum and dad, they tell me to make as many as I can about all the things that happen and keep them safe, locked away, hidden so nobody can get them. And also because they might be worth something when I'm older and my mum and dad aren't around anymore. But focus for a short time and just remember what they are, and that's what that will be. And every time you touch it and every time you hold it, it will remind you of that thing, and so you won't forget it. That memory nobody can take unless they take the thing that is there. Could I eat that, please?
Ah, thank you.
Is a lump of sugar one talisman, or is it many smaller talismans?
Why are we feeding the children?
Well, it's better than
Because
throwing
they
them
are
across the
children.
street.
Look around, Adrian.
The children that had lacked any manners.
I could say that to others here.
But I think we should heed his advice.
Why, what did he say?
He told us how to make a talisman.
Sounds like a trap.
You have something on you.
Why? What is it? Is it a fly?
No. You have something on you you'd like to turn into a talisman.
I'd rather not make a talisman.
I don't know. Everyone's been speaking of them.
I know. Which is why it
Perhaps
sounds...
it is wise.
No, it sounds fishy. It sounds like a trap. Why would we do that? We've got this far in life without having to make talismans. I'm not going to start now.
Yes, but we're not home, are we?
Well, no.
I'm going to take a moment.
And Cookie sits down, cross-legged, rummages through her backpack looking for something appropriate. I don't know. What would she have in there?
I have many things. I can lend you one.
Oh, why is Cry rolling dice?
Oh no.
Okay. She grabs a bottle of oil, like
You did this again.
special extra virgin olive oil or something. And she's meditating on it. And she pulls Ariel down and makes Ariel sit down as well.
I suggest we all do this.
And then she goes deep into meditation briefly.
Yeah, and it's a strange sensation as you feel this part. So, what does this particular thing mean to you? Does it hold any particular specific part does it connect to? Basically, what I'm getting at here is, does it capture any of your character's traits or history or backgrounds explicitly? And if it does, so just having a quick look at your character
I'm
sheet
gonna
here.
think it encapsulates her love of food.
Okay, so mark what the object is. Mark that. Put a note against it in your inventory that it's a talisman, or add a new item that's a talisman and remove the other one. However, but just make sure that you record that you've got this and it's related to your love of food. Yeah. And like what? So with any of these things that you do, they become
Oil
physical
bottle.
objects, and they become physical manifestations of the thing that you're trying not to forget, whatever that is, and however it affects. And if you want to do that with multiple items, you can. If you want to do it with fewer, you can. But everything that you spend that amount of time with, that kind of 30 minutes with, becomes one of your talisman. Everything else doesn't, but still holds some sort of memory. But the things that you specifically lock into there are your talisman, your touchstones.
I do say that I find this all rather silly.
In this place, it seems memories are important. They float down the streets, and they are used in trade. What this child says about talismans could be important to us.
But why would you trade in memories? Especially when most of them have been here all their lives. They haven't got any.
Precisely. They
I
need
think
to
that's
see
why
other
they keep
places.
losing their memories, so it's a thing that has value to them.
Well, I have had many a heavy night drinking, and I still have my memories, so I think I'll be fine.
I don't think it's quite the same thing unless you're drinking very supernatural liquor.
You've clearly never been to a Dwarven 100th birthday party.
I mean, I'm not assuming you have either, but
I've been to many.
if you say so.
Well, you judge that I don't have friends?
Who knows?
I suggest you make at least one, Adric.
Fine.
And as
I'll sit down opposite Cookie and Ariel.
yeah, as you sit down, down the street at the bottom, you hear a noise which it reminds you of a bear, a kind of noise. And sure enough, as you look up, you see two bears walking down the street towards you. Not in any hurry, but definitely heading your way. And there's something peculiar about these bears. They're not black in the same way that a black bear is. They have a strange shadow and a shimmer around them. There's something very peculiar and off about these bears as they plod down the street towards you. They look interested and they stop just a little bit further, a building length away from you, and they look at you, sniff up in the air, and let out a roar as they charge down towards you. And that's where we will leave it for tonight. And on our return, we will get you to roll initiative.
Oh. Against bears.
I mean, it's only bears.
Is
You know,
only bears.
Much like a shadow dimension is basically the same thing as a drinking party.
Hey. Excellent.
You're
Well done,
clawing
guys.
at that
I'll
one.
say it first.
Right then. So I don't exactly know, according to July calendar, when we're going to be back to find out when the Unbearable Challenge is taking place. It's probably going to be the 17th?
18th.
18th?
No, 18th Sunday. It's because we're at midnight. It's because we're moved into midnight at 17th.
That doesn't change that. What?
It is because it's as of today. In 2 weeks is 18th. Shut up.
No, but-
yeah.
17th, aren't I? I'm confused.
What?
We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it between us because we're having to have breaks because of holidays and such.
Also, 2 weeks is still
So there's all sorts of things going on.
No, it's not the
schedule's a little bit
17th.
out.
Sorry. No, 17th is Kadari's thingy-majig. It'll be the 24th now.
Okay.
You have to call me Kaldari when you're reading the calendar. That's the established.
Yeah, so it'll be the 24th, sorry. 24th.
Excellent. All right. So unless you hear otherwise, by the usual channels, Discord and Twitter, then it'll be the 24th. So thank you all for playing today.
Do check out...
Thank you.
Do guys join our Discord if you want to find out when everything's going on, because that's where we will post it first of all places and everything. And as usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't go anywhere once we've all disappeared. We'll send you over to someone who's playing D&D. When you get there, spam them with our emotes. Let them know where you've come from. And enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you for watching, guys. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.